Hi, welcome to my channel. So this video is about how to release negative energy and negative life stories. I actually learned this all at a workshop at Bhakti Fest. Before I went off to the Bhakti Fest, I was working a job that I really didn't enjoy. It drained out all of my energy and I just didn't even go along with what I had studied in college, and it was just such a very draining job, and I didn't feel like myself while I was at it. So I knew what it was like to hold a lot of negative energy, and I really wanted to get rid of that energy, and actually I had decided to quit that job while I was flying out to California to go on this trip, and I sent out my email then, and it's really funny that I quit the job on my way to Bhakti Fest, and then as soon as I got to Bhakti Fest, I got a call back saying I got a second interview for another job. So it was all really funny timing, but essentially I was actually feeling pretty bad before I got to Bhakti Fest. Here's a quick picture I snapped of the teacher while she was teaching the course. It was about halfway through the course, and I was just feeling the class so much, loving the workshops so much that I was just like, I need a picture so I can remember this for the rest of my life. Her name is Himalaya Bell, by the way, and I'll put her channel below. What I remember most about Himalaya's exercise workshop was that the feeling of freedom and liberation I had afterwards, and the fact that people were coming up to me and were really interested in me, which I'll explain in a minute. But I actually did take down some notes, and looking back at it, they make sense and they bring more context to this liberated feeling that I had after her workshop. So she was talking a lot about how the ideal being and the ideal way she wants to feel is just like a 3 to 6 year old, living life to the fullest, not caring, just having fun, and they don't have a personal life story. They don't have these traumatic stories that we tell ourselves. And this is something you might hear a lot about if you're in this self-help world, but it's important to understand what negative stories you tell yourself. I know for me, like a story I had is that like, oh, you have to go get a job that makes money, and it doesn't really matter if you love that job. And even me growing up, I knew that I really wanted to get a job that I loved, but this story about the importance of making money, it still runs through my head. And yeah, I mean, technically you really do need to make money to pay your rent and stuff, but for me, I know in myself that money is not the most important thing. Like, I want enough money to live, but passion and loving my job is way more important to me. But this story that so many other people follow, that money is the most important thing, does sneak into my world sometimes. She also talked about how we pick up the energies of people around us and also spread out our own energy. And whenever I hear people talk about that, I always hope and think like, oh, do I give off a good energy to people? I don't even know. And whenever I hear people talk about it, I just like make a conscious note to myself saying that I want to start giving off a better energy. And I don't know how long that always lasts. Maybe that energy lasts me a week or two, and then I need to be reawakened to this idea of energy again. But now that I'm looking at it now, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to put more effort into giving good energy to the world. So then what Himalaya did was get us prepared to do an exercise that would help us release all of our traumas and all of our stories that we were telling ourselves, especially the negative ones. And to preface it, she reminded us that every person in this world, all they want, the most important thing they want is just to love and be loved and to see and be seen. And then she had us do this pretty ridiculous exercise. I don't remember how it started, but we were like doing like rocking motions and making loud like ha 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 noises. And then so that was like on the ground, and then we eventually moved our way up and then did this motion. Okay, so the motion went a little something like this. It was like ha 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 ha. So Himalaya was encouraging us to do this exercise to the loudest and the proudest of our ability. And she talked about how, like, in Bollywood, the women, like, just smile so big when they're dancing and, like, have their hands be so alive when they're dancing. And she really wanted us to emulate that. And I actually was no stranger to this exercise. I did it once before at Wanderlust. And it was a really profound moment for me then, too. And I'll talk about that in a future video when I talk about my Wanderlust experiences. But this one was still different in a different way, and I think I got to break more into this exercise because I had done it before, and basically the point of it all is just to release all of your trauma and just lose yourself and just start fresh and start anew once you finish the exercise. And I really, now that I'm talking about it, want to do it again now. It'd be great to do it like with a bunch of people because it's more fun that way. It's kind of weird to just like lose it alone in your house. But basically I got really into it, and then after going like hop, hop, hop for a while, she's just like, lose yourself, just dance, do whatever you want. So I was just dancing like a crazy person, and lots of people were coming up and dancing with me, and like they just thought I had this great energy. And it was the first time someone had ever come up to a festival and have just been like specifically to me like, wow, I love your energy, I love how you dance, how can I lose myself the way you're losing yourself? And I just kept dancing. I was like, just do it, just lose yourself. But I can't make anyone lose himself. You have to do it for yourself. But it's really cool because I'm like a quiet, shy person, and no one's ever come up to me before and told me that they like thought I was the coolest person ever. So that was really cool. And then later when I was like walking around the shops, I went to a mala bead place because I was really came to Bhakti Fest and decided I want to come out of Bhakti Fest with a pair of beads to do prayers on and to just be a significant spiritual thing for me. And I went to this little shop called Love Pray, or it was all intense, so a vendor. And the lady there was like, you were just at the Himalaya thing. Like, I remember seeing you. You were so cool. So that was just like really cool. 2 people telling me I was cool. Not that it matters. Like, it's a really egoic thing, but it still feels good just to know that like my energy made other people feel good. And so I was like looking through her beads, and I saw some that I really liked, and I had talked to her for like a good 20 minutes. So it felt nice buying beads from someone who I've had a conversation with, and I can remember that great experience I had. And I just thought these beads were the most beautiful thing. And I also have a little card that says what they mean. I'll get it. So the card says that the beads are made of Amazonite, and it is associated with the heart and throat chakras, and it dispels negative energy and improves confidence, leadership, and communication. And that just makes so much sense going along with like the fact that I was just doing a Kundalini like yoga practice about getting rid of negative energy, and I was also being a leader and showing people how to get rid of their energy in this way. So honestly, like I think I got the card just after buying the beads, so it's really cool to see like I was drawn to these beads, and they just happened to stand for what I had just gone through. And I still wear these beads pretty much mostly every day, and I use them to meditate with. And I might do a video explaining what meditations I do with these mala beads. I'll also post the Instagram for the shop below from this girl because she was so nice. And if you're interested in buying her beads, do it. I'm not sure if she remembers who I am, but she was a really, really nice person. So check out her beads. So, well, I think it would be ideal if we could all just go to Himalayas workshop every single day. You can't all do that, but I just recommend you go somewhere where maybe no one can hear you and just like shake your body and move around and just scream and release everything to the best of your ability, and like try to come out of that thinking I have no negative stories. I am a free person. I am a blank slate, and I can feel and be however I want to be. And I think it'll be a really good experience for you, and just try to be in that mind of a 3-year-old or a 6-year-old and just live your life with so much joy. I'll post Himalaya's channel in the description below. I'm not sure how much she uses YouTube, but check it out. She has some really cool exercises on there. And have a really good day and live your life like a 3 or 6-year-old. Like this video if you liked it, and share it with anyone that you think could, lighten up a little bit. And yeah, subscribe. My channel is all about going after your dreams and trying to live your life as happy as you can. I hope you like it. All right, bye.